now that the administration is going to continue and they're going to go in, I mean, you were very vocal about how you felt about it and that you wanted to change, but hopefully we can still experience some change under the current regime.
My voice, I said my voice about it already, and hopefully they will listen, and hopefully things will change.
What do you want? What would you like to see change? Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Across the Line. On today's episode we have Alvin Ocampo. Alvin talks about his amateur video that he posted up on his Facebook site, and he also discusses the state of youth football. One of the other things he talks about is his experiences with the youth national team and his hopes and dreams for Filipino football. If you enjoy our content, please like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and download the episode on Spotify and Apple. Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Across the Line with me, Chris Greatwich. I'm alone in the hot seat today. Jing Hamlang is not with us. He is in Malaysia for the AFC group draw. So it's just me. And I have got, however, a revered guest on the show. One of the grandfathers now of Philippine football, Alvin Ocampo.
You're making me old, Chris.
You're not much older than me, mate, to be honest with you, but I've got to make you sound old. But thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, pleasure to be here.
It's been a long time coming. I've been trying to get you on for a number of months.
So I know.
Your schedule's very busy. Yeah. You're a busy man at the moment.
I don't want to be grilled. That's why I kept denying.
You've been scared? Well, listen, I mean, I want to get straight into it with you because you've been very outspoken in the last sort of 3 or 4 months, and one of the culminations of your, I guess, discontent was made viewable, I guess, in a now infamous car interview.
Actually, that's because of the traffic. Every day I go to Laguna, it's always 3 hours traffic.
I'm guessing your mind is
working. That's why I decided to make a video of what's youth football this past 20 years.
And for those of you who haven't seen it, can you just give us a summary of what you said in that 10-minute interview?
The 10-minute was basically more on what happened in the past 20 years.
Yeah.
We haven't passed through the eliminations of any AFC, AFF for the youth teams.
Yeah.
It's always we make excuses. One excuse is minimal preparation. Some excuses, the federation it's cutting budget. It's I don't know who, but it's usually they say the budget's cut. You just have to have 2 weeks preparation or 2 months preparation. We just have to join. That's how I see it.
Yeah.
It's more on we're complying to join. It's not on the development of the youth.
Yeah.
We in the past 20 years we don't have a national tournament. Yes, they say they have a national tournament now, U15. But the U15 AFF was finished already mid of this year.
Yeah.
So why do we have a tournament last minute? In the past 9 years, you only have one tournament, national tournament.
Yeah.
So how can that be? So we have best players coming from Mindanao, Luzon, Visayas. It's always we have to get players from the outside.
Yeah.
So it's always a shortcut method.
Yeah.
Like you came from England.
Yeah.
You're one of our field foreigners before. You're a good thing to us. Why? You raise the level of the bar of the game. Like what I told in the video, Chiefy won't be Chiefy if it weren't for you guys. Because the level of the field foreigners was higher. Definitely higher. Confidence level in the game is higher. Chiefy had to put himself up to your level to be one of the best. That's why he's the best.
Yeah.
However, in the 9 years, we haven't produced any Chiefy Kalindong.
I think what I spoke about this with Jing in the last podcast is when you say things like that, very very kind of you to say so. You also gave me a name check in your video in your car, so
because you're one of the best players.
I appreciate that, thank you, and that's why you're on the show, just to talk nice about me. But no,
I'll tell them what's the truth, Chris, later when you called me in your room.
Let's not talk
You
about
cannot
that.
remember that?
No, I can't. What did I say?
No, man. Full respect to you.
Oh, thank you.
You called me in your room and you told me that's why they were talking about you. That's why you're the legend of the Philippines. You
That's
deserve
right, yeah,
to be the captain ball. Remember
yeah,
that time?
yeah, I did, yeah.
The time when I retired, my last game was
Yeah.
last.
See?
I'm very emotional in terms of
It's
being nationalistic.
Not even 5 minutes in and you're already in tears. I like it. I like it. The emotions are running high.
Yeah.
But like, going back to what we were saying, like Chiefy for me is just one example of what should be dozens, if not hundreds of players who, given the opportunity to rub shoulders with players who've played at a higher level or had exposure to training at a better level, or it might be work under coaches who've coached at a higher level, they will level up. They will level up if they are given the opportunity. That's the bottom line of it. And what we were saying in the last podcast, Alvin, was I have got no issues, and obviously I was a beneficiary of this, of Filipinos who are born or raised abroad who come in. If they're better than the local players, they have to play. Because football is a meritocracy at the end of the day. Where it's not a meritocracy is where you've got Filipino players who have the capacity, who could be
like Bedic,
like him, right. We named Joven, we named Jalso Sariano, right. For example, Sherma Falonka. I mean, these are guys who I work with, so I know these guys really well.
They have potential, but they were forgotten. That's the problem,
right? And also, I think had they have at an earlier stage, like Joven came in at a young 16, 17-year-old, was in the squad. If he was continually pushed and continually in and around the squad from that age, by the time he was 22, he would have had 4 or 5 years where he would have been playing regularly with players of that caliber, and for sure he would have been able to compete at that level. It took him until he was 29 to play in the Suzuki Cup to come of age. "Quote unquote, come of age,"
but he's past his prime already.
I mean, that could have been him at 22, 23, and even still, he's still probably. I would, and I said it on the show when he did our interview. I would still say he is the most naturally gifted footballer that I've come across in the Philippines. You know, I saw you at the back end of your career, but
Joven his intelligence in football is very high,
very high,
very high,
very high,
and he doesn't break under pressure.
Mentally very strong.
Yeah, because a lot of Filipinos, when they play here in the Philippines, they're good. They're one of the best. But when they play outside, their balls are here.
Yeah,
here, totally here.
But I think that's that's because they've probably had maybe 1 or 2 tournaments. They probably got killed in the underage groups, right? And then they go to these major tournaments, and then this is it. Like, they've had no experience in the build up to that point.
The thing is, how come us, like myself, when we play outside, we play same way? Because we want to win.
Yeah.
How come the others just break easily? That's a problem. They're not exposed to this kind of.
I completely agree.
So there's a lot of aspect in terms of building a player. The characteristics of a player, the main composition of a U14 player. Like what I told you prior to this is, what's your ideal player? You want your player at U14 level. You want him to be left and right foot ambidextrous. He's technically able. His court vision is very high. His football IQ is very high. When they reach at the U14 level, it should be that way.
Yeah.
We can sometimes call it level, or these are level 5.
Yeah.
The problem is, our national team, when they reach level 5 or U14, they don't know how to kick with their weak foot.
Yeah.
Then they shouldn't be in the national team.
Yeah.
Because most of the time it goes to your weak foot when you play.
Right.
So usually goes to your weak foot. And it's not a complete player. Then why take them in?
And we were talking about this a little bit before we started the interview. We were saying that when the wave of Phil foreigners started coming in, sort of my group, you were saying that you noticed straight away a technical disparity.
Disparity, yeah. You see the difference there. Example, how James is making a cross to Phil. Filipinos, when they kick, They look at the ball, they look at where they pass, they look at the ball, then pass. James, when you see him cross to field, looks at the ball, looks where he's gonna hit it. He knows already where Phil is.
Yeah.
And the technique of the kick is, for Philippines, too much effort. You see James when he kicks. No effortless. So there's this disparity in how they're brought up.
And why do you think that is? Is it a fact that they haven't received good enough coaching? Are they not on the practice field enough? Why do you think that is?
Who is usually responsible for these kids? Usually, in the Philippines, we're all broken down to all the regional football association.
Right.
So we have one program. Shared to all the regional FAs. Regional FAs should implement. They should implement.
That's what we should have.
Do
we have that right now?
No. We let all the regional FAs do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
True or not, they can ask me, they can hate me, I don't mind.
Yeah.
But that's how we feel. There are a lot of regional FAs that don't have any football project.
Yeah.
There are other regional FAs, the head are non-football or being dictated by some. So we it's not streamlined on how it should be run.
Right.
Because in the 9 years of our incumbent president of the federation right now, we haven't seen any youth development. And I'm not the only one who saw it. I have another national team who saw it, but I cannot name him.
Yeah.
I got to talk to him last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot expect them to talk because it's their line of work.
Yeah.
They will not talk.
Yeah.
Definite. Because it's line of their work.
Yeah.
It's their way of living. For me, instant, if I say the truth, I can give up football right after. Because at least everyone will hear it.
Yeah.
Because it's very disappointing, the lost generation for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
We have best kids playing. Where are they now? Enjoying college, not playing anymore.
Yeah.
For example, if people would research on the U22 of other Southeast Asian nations, you'll see the composition of the core players came from the youth program.
Yeah.
The U14, the U16, U17. Myanmar had 10 players from the U19.
Is that right?
I asked someone to research for me.
Yeah.
But if you do an in-depth research, because no one, I believe no one's studying it. No one.
Yeah.
It's just disappointing. Yes, last week I was watching the documentary Little Azkals, 2013
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
These are the born O2s and O3s, and majority of them are in Manila.
Yeah.
Some are in Green Hills, some in San Beda.
Yeah.
Where are they now? Only 2 players played last year in the U16. And they say it's Project U17 World Cup 2019.
Yeah.
So who's responsible for this? Is it the federation? Is it the British Embassy? Because they're the one who put it up.
In the program, yeah. And they're not involved. They're not involved with it anymore, are they?
Yeah.
I don't think
so. Who is involved here? Who is responsible for this one?
Yeah.
How come it's forgotten? That's the sad part. They say year 2019. 2019 is here.
They finished.
What happened?
Yeah.
Right? And then here comes the Teen Azkals, the born 99, the group of Diamante.
Yeah.
The Teen Azkals. This group, I think they should be the U22s of these SEA Games.
Yeah.
What happened to them? Only 5 are in the lineup. Two players playing, Casambre and Limbo.
Yeah.
And Limbo only played for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
What happened to the core of that Teen Azkals group?
Yeah.
They played only until U14 to U16, then done. Cut.
Yeah.
So what happened to the U19? What happened to U21?
Yeah.
So there's no continuity in terms of youth program. They say the federation doesn't know how to handle long-term plans. They always go for the shortcut method.
Is that what you're seeing with the 22s now in the SEA Games?
The 22s now in the SEA Games, my observation and my opinion is we should have gotten all the best coaches of the Philippines to join in, like what they did in the 2006-2007 Tiger Cup, when Coach Maro, Coach Aris, the late Coach Lloyd, John Carmona, a group of coaches helped for the team. That would be the good thing that would be for the U22. How I observed the team this year is, it seems that the coaches doesn't know their players. The coach doesn't know their players. There was this game, second game, when Shrock went up to the bench twice. It looked like he was asking for instruction. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? As far as I know, when I talked to players there, going towards the second game, there was no discussion of the first 11. There was no discussion of what we're gonna do. There was no discussion of anything. You go into a second match international, you don't know shit. You just rely on Shrock will lead the team. Usoka will hopefully score. So that's the funny thing there. You're in our experience before, whenever we talk prior to the game, we talk about what we're gonna do. I believe I don't know if there's scouting done. That's the good thing with the 2006-2007 coaches, Filipino coaches. They did their own scouting, which is good. Then what we're gonna do to the training, like for example, people were talking about Gayoso playing the left fullback position, but if you watch the game, good thing he was there in the left fullback position, because the Cambodia, the winger, was very fast, man. If you see that, good thing he was there. But the thing is, you have all the time to prepare for the first game. Why only use him there? You could have used him in Copa Alcantara at that position, or other tune-up matches.
I think, I mean, you're talking about, there's two things that I want to address with that, with what you've said there. The first one is you're talking about sort of long-term planning, or what is the big picture? What is the big plan for the Philippine national team? Like, one of the things that we were talking about and discussing about a little bit before we came on the interview was, and you touched on it a little bit with the regional FAs, because some regional FAs are doing okay. They are producing some players. So we don't want to blanket and say like everyone's doing a piss poor job. That's not what we're saying at all.
True.
But one of the things that what you're saying is there needs to be some direction from a director of youth and ultimately from the federation itself, who says, right, this is the plan. We want to be producing these types of players.
Correct.
Here, homegrown, right?
Yeah.
So let's use that as an example. So let's look at how we were talking about the academy manual that we have, right?
Wait,
go on.
The good example here is you retired. Did any Filipinos step up the flank to be like you? No one. Ali Borromeo retired. We haven't seen the next Ali Borromeo. Phil retired. We haven't seen the next Phil Young husband. So, what happened to that period on producing that players?
Right. And I think a lot of that is like, so let's say, what did you like? Like, if when I did my academy manual, which you brought up with me earlier. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I did with my academy, produced a manual. So I did a list of characteristics that players in that position should have. So if you're a striker, good at holding up the ball, good at linking up the play, be able to finish in a variety of different ways, good at pressing the centre backs, all of these kinds of multiple attributes. And then what I did was I gave examples like in the real world. So for me, I support Tottenham, so Harry Kane is a good example. And then I gave two examples for my academy. So two players who have those characteristics in the club and can demonstrate that. as the type of player who we were looking to produce. So for example, with the national team, you've had players in the past, you can go far back. I look at, if you're looking at that, Freddie Gonzalez, great finisher, natural finisher. What attributes did he have? And then you could list down the type of player that you want. Out of your wingers, okay, Chiefy Caligdon, what attributes does he have? So.
Then from there, you're right, you make your own framework on how to produce those players.
Right.
But the thing is, Kaya has it. We don't know if the federation has it.
That's the big one, though. We don't know.
We don't know.
Maybe they do.
Maybe they do, but
I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
They
maybe they do. They just stuck it there with all the equipment that was donated and wasn't used.
Maybe. Collecting dust, gathering dust somewhere.
Yes.
But then that's when, and I think if that is shared with the regional FAs, and then it's up to them to distribute that to the clubs
and do the checking,
do the follow up, and then there's a very easy way to check. When you do your scouting missions for the under 12s, under 14s, under 16s, whatever the age category might be, are you producing those players? Well, when I go down and I look at them,
the problem
I'll see if they're there.
Now, Chris, is we have this guy Reggie Hirata. He's looking after the youth program,
right?
Across the board.
I don't know Reggie. So
yeah,
tell me about Reggie.
He I think Japan FA is the one covering everything.
Right.
He's helping us, and he's helping us when people bash him. Why? This guy is just helping us.
Right.
So why do you have to bash rather than support? My take on it is, yes, it's a good help, but still, he's implementing Japanese style of play, not the how we Filipinos play it.
Yeah.
So, example, we people will talk, Qatar FA will talk, Vietnam head coach will talk, Singapore head coach will talk. It's always the best practice of all the other nations. But sometimes it works for them, it doesn't work for us.
Spot on. I'll tell you a really interesting one. Right? I listened to another podcast. It's called Remember the... I said Remember the Titans. Then that's a film. It's not.
Yeah.
It's called The Way of the Champions, and they have interviews with different coaches across the world, or people who work in the sports industry. And this guy, he works for an organisation that goes into war-torn countries. We would go to Africa, we would go to other areas, impoverished areas, and deliver clinics. And what he was saying was there were a lot of people who go to these places and they'll be like, right, well, I'm with Ajax, or I'm with Juventus, or I'm with, and this is the way we do it. And I'm thinking to myself, it's great in Italy, it's great in Holland, but you don't know the characteristics of what we have to deal with, or the environment that we have to deal with here. So one of the examples was, I had a Spanish coach, right? He came to one of our sessions, right? And a licensed coach from Spain. So he came in, he watched the session, and then after about 10 minutes, he came to me and he said, "Chris, this is terrible." Right? And I went, "What do you mean it's terrible?" He goes, "All the kids, they're just playing when they arrive."
Yeah.
Right? And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Nah, they should be doing passing drills. They should be doing this." And I said, "Listen, mate." I said, "First of all," he says, "you don't know the characteristics of what we have to deal with here in the Philippines." And he said, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Okay, let me give you an example. What's the major problem that you have here in the Philippines? There's two. One is traffic." Right? So none of the kids get there on time.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So imagine if you start doing a session,
Yeah.
you're implementing your ideas.
Then someone comes in late.
Okay, everyone stop. Let me explain it for this guy, then the next guy, then the next guy, then the 20 other kids that show up late. Right?
I have this feeling the second one is facility.
Right?
Or the third. It's going to be the third.
Right?
We don't have any facility.
Right? So, and with that means that kids aren't able to play recreationally. So if you go to Brazil, or you go to Argentina, or even go to England, a lot of these kids are learning to play on the street, in the park, in the cage, or whatever. Well, a lot of these, especially if you live in the metro, there's no parks.
Yeah. Wait, I'll do a sideline on this one.
Go,
I remember when we trained I was shy to bring the team in training in Paglaum. Remember? I was shy to bring your group, the Phil Foreigners, to this field.
Right.
Because the field was part parking, part football field, the stadium. Paglaum Stadium, Bacolod.
Yeah.
I remember while we were training, a dog was shitting in the field.
I remember it now.
not ashamed. Probably ashamed.
Yes, right.
Because this is the kind of facilities for the national team here.
Yeah. And what that means is those kids aren't able to play recreationally. So you've got to give them the outlet. So when they arrive, if you come to any of my sessions, any of our academy sessions, everyone from under 5s to U17 will all be playing 3v3 to start off with, just so they can play recreationally. And just without the coach interrupting them, just play. Yeah, just play. They can try things.
I saw the one time when we were at the game prior to the session. They were playing with the goals. The goals are set up already.
Yeah, and it's just for the kids to have fun, get them engaged. If someone shows up late, it's no problem. We'll play 4 against 3 or 3 against.
That's
3,
why I like that tournament. You had the 3v3 with no goalkeepers.
No goalkeeper. Yeah, and it's all. And again, that's my own philosophy on how I'd like the game to be played, but. I just think with that, and once you have it written down, once you have it there and it's concise and it might be right, it might be wrong, I don't know, but at least it's everything that everyone can follow.
Problem with the Philippines right now, like what's happening in the States, is the pay to play. Yeah, like what I told you about Kaya. Good thing with Kaya, not because I came from Kaya. Good thing with Kaya is you have that manual that not all have.
Yeah.
At least people would know I'm paying for this.
Yeah.
I'm paying for this kind of program. Right now, too many football schools, because no one's controlling it. An FA should also be the one controlling this one. And I see schools that they teach coaches also. Are they licensed to teach coaches? That's the sad part. Yeah. Maybe they're teaching. I don't know what they're teaching.
Yeah.
They need someone to control it. Same way like the federation to control the federation.
Yeah.
The regional FAs. So the good thing with the manual, that kind of manual, we don't see it in the higher level.
Yeah.
But if you research the clubs, you see there's always a marketing study, but never in depth on the program.
Yeah.
You see SWOT analysis of this club. You see how the good thing with the Man U coaches that came here before, the one ABS brought.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from the few days that they were here.
Yeah.
They started first with their philosophy. The philosophy of the club.
Right.
Then that's where they fixed their program based on their philosophy.
Yeah.
And the good thing there is we were supposed to help them in the training session.
Yeah.
They told us no. They will be the one running everything.
Yeah.
The good thing in that session is it was free. Football was given for free. I had this guy, I talked to this guy from Barcelona, Football Club Barcelona. I met him in Bacolod.
Yep.
He was talking about we're bringing the program here. We're bringing the program of Barcelona to the Philippines.
Yeah.
Remember, I see them. They charge 20,000 for a 5-day session. What will you learn for a 5-day session? You're paying for the name, and the one teaching are local coaches.
Yeah.
So it's a sad. If you're paying for 20,000 pesos, you expect the coaches to be the one
delivering the sessions.
That's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's why I reacted to him saying that why do you charge 20,000? Then the one teaching are the local coaches. So then he highlighted we produce players from the Philippines like Reyes. What I told him, there are times did you scout them or the some players paid for the program.
Yeah.
So those are different.
Yeah.
I go, why not go to Japan, go to Korea where football is very high.
Yeah.
Then put the program there, you get players to play for your club there.
Yeah.
Why Philippines? It turned out from his mouth it's because Philippines pay. They pay for the sessions.
Yeah.
They pay for it. So it's a sad part.
Yeah.
They're making a brand, making money out of football. In Philippines right now, same thing. Money, football,
Yeah.
it's together, man.
I think it's hard. Like I obviously work in that area, and when you see the amount of money we have to pay to rent the fields, we have to charge. We have to charge what we charge. We're a business at the end of the day. And I look at when we provide a service like that, obviously, it's a business.
It's really a business.
It's a business. Yeah. I look at how
but the quality of the return should be there's a result.
That's the other thing.
That's the important thing.
So I'm looking at it from my perspective. Like when I grew up, when you pay for your Sunday team or whatever, grassroots level, you paid nominal money. Like the coach was a parent who volunteered, so you're not going to give him too much crap because he's just he's there. He's there to help you guys out. But then when I was maybe 10 or 11 when I first signed for a professional club, and then you're seen as a commodity, so they're going to invest their time and money with you in the hopes that they could produce a footballer, right, and use you basically and sell you on or whatever, or have you play in the first team and then play. You have your own value, so that the value was in then developing you as the player. But I didn't have to pay anything for that, right? That was all. They were hoping they were going to polish me off. But I look at that here, and I think that is one of the problems. Is definitely the pay to play as a model. I mean, you've seen it in the States as well. That's one of the biggest issues is the pay to play model. But then that's probably more here in the metro, because I don't think that's the case in the other parts of the Philippines.
Yeah.
So, and if other parts of the Philippines aren't producing vast numbers of players, then there has to be the system as a whole must be broken.
The good thing right now, facilities are increasing.
That's a good thing.
The stadiums, the artificial surfaces.
It's great.
Done by the government, which is good.
It needs to be.
Yeah.
I look at McKinley Hill. I never trained anywhere as good as that as a kid.
Right now, there's the one in Imus.
Which one's that one?
The Imus field. I've
never been there.
I haven't been there.
No.
This is a good thing. There's a lot of field growing, increasing in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And I believe the government is more highlighting on the sports right now.
Yeah. Which is good. Which is really what we need. It is what we need. But
I hope they don't charge way high for the land. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. And going back to my initial point, which was there needs to be some sort of cohesive, like I said, coaching manual or an overall philosophy that is carried out. But then it's all well and good having a manual, having a document that says this is what we want to do. You then need to have the people who can actually implement it. Now you're someone you did your coach head here.
You need people to implement it the right
way. Now I don't know how you found this, but you did your C license here. You did your coaching course here, but you said that you're probably going to end up doing your other licenses.
I really want to do the licenses outside.
Yeah,
because I want to see the different atmosphere. Like you did your licenses outside.
Yeah.
Because right now, when I took the C license, actually my instructor was Coach Buddha. After the 3 weeks with her, I felt like I didn't want to be a coach. I want to be an instructor.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to help the coaches.
Yeah.
So I was inspired to be an instructor. But when I found out that the long way going to be an instructorship is way too expensive.
And it's long.
Yeah, it's long.
It's a long process.
Long process. After you have to take a diploma course.
Yeah.
It's like going to college.
Again, yeah.
So it's very expensive.
Yeah.
And I think we only have two coaches right now
we're doing Coach Ed here in the Philippines, which is what
Coach Maro and
Aris and Maro, right? Yeah.
So how I see it is expensive. So, but probably I'll take the B license or A license outside.
Yeah. And what do you hope that you get by doing it outside? What do you think you'll see?
You can. The good thing with other coaches, you be with other coaches. Like for the C license, you be with the other Mindanao, Luzon, Visayas coaches.
Yeah.
You hear their best practices. You get to talk to them their best practices.
Yeah.
So you get inputs. You get maybe you get ideas from them. Thus you talk about the reality of our province.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There are times we feel for them. Same way if you go take your license outside, you hear this is how we do it here, this is how we do it there.
Yeah.
You get ideas. Why we can try to implement here, or you get good insightful ideas
Yeah.
from others.
Yeah. But I think with that, I remember going on Coach Hans, who I'm sure we'll talk about later. I went on his podcast years and years ago. And one of the things that he was saying is when people go abroad and they do their coaching licenses, or they do like a field trip or whatever, you know, they should come back and they should report. And they should have that report.
They need to cascade it to
trickles down. It needs to trickle
to
down.
the coaches.
Yeah. And that's maybe part of why I did the manual for us. Was I did my A license. I went through the course. You should share your knowledge or share what you've learned, because some of it is stuff you learn on the course, but a lot of it, like you said, is you learn it from being around your cohort, right? And if your cohort,
you get to talk to coaches. Like I got to talk to 2 coaches recently. Both of them told me, why don't you put up a coaches association, so that the coaches has a voice.
Yeah.
I told them, it's hard to put up an association because every coaches wants to join. What's our eligibility for it?
Yeah.
What if we don't make them join? They'll get pissed off.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. They say we have lots of A licensed coaches, B licensed coaches, C licensed coaches. We do. But are they practicing? The majority practicing. It seems like their coaches right now are being used as in a document. If you play in international match, you need an A licensed coach or B licensed coach handling, and you get coaches outside that are not licensed coaches, so you have to use the name of the licensed coach.
Yeah, which I've done.
Similar with how Kaya did with the 2 coaches.
Yeah,
but it's not. How come in the national team it's being done also?
Yeah,
they don't trust our Filipino coaches.
And what I think that is also indicative of is the fact that if you put on a really good coach education product, then naturally you would have the confidence in your own philosophy, and then the implementation of it by your own coaches.
It's just like you're selling a product. You have to believe in the product,
of course,
before you sell it.
Yeah.
If you don't believe in the product, how can you sell it?
Yeah.
It's just like we teach them, but we don't trust them. We don't believe in them.
Yeah.
Why make use of those coaches?
Yeah.
That's that. It's the sad reality. And we have lots of good coaches.
Well, I think so.
Norman Figueroa is one good coach.
Yeah, he's a good coach. Yeah, I played under him.
But he was just coached for one team before. In challenge, I think Challenge Cup.
Qualifiers, yeah.
Qualifier. That's it. But never coach again after that.
Yeah.
So what happened? We don't know.
Yeah.
Diba? And like all the tournaments, the youth program, the youth teams right now, they haven't qualified any tournament.
Yeah.
So what is wrong? That's a big question.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you, but
that's
a big question. Because since the time I was playing for the youth teams, we never got past the eliminations.
Yeah.
And I'm even part of the Whipping Boys of Asia.
Yeah.
And if you want me to do it, I'll do it again instantly. It's hard being tagged as Whipping Boys. I am not the type of person who shouts at my teammates. But in the national team, you'll hear it from me if you're not playing hard in the back.
Yeah.
Because all my life I've been playing midfield. When it comes to national team, I have to play defense.
Yeah.
Right? Not my natural position.
No.
So I play wherever my coaches wants me to play.
Yeah.
That's why when Harvey talked to me a week before the game, he was good.
Who's your nephew, by the way, right? We have to establish this.
He's my nephew. He talked to me. He asked me what position I played for the national team. So I go, whatever the coaches wants me to play.
Yeah.
As long as I'm there to help out.
Yeah.
So then I told him not to worry. If you panic, you'll end up committing a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So just play how it should be done.
Yeah.
You just relax. Yeah. Trust yourself.
Yeah.
good thing. I'm happy with the performance of actually the local players. Jano, Suba.
Yeah. They did really well, didn't they?
Suba
yeah, they did
played
really
well.
well. Yeah, did really good.
Suba played well.
Yeah.
And I feel for Amani. I feel the in passion.
Oh, unbelievable, wasn't it? Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I felt it because
Yeah.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Fighting for your country. It's hard.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's. I think also it's nice to see players demonstrate that emotion. You know, especially. I mean, I think, especially in recent years, the Azkals have been tagged with this sort of image of. I don't want to say, not mercenaries. I don't want to say mercenaries, but it's
They were branded
differently, right?
Yeah.
Branded differently, and then
Yeah.
I think it gets to the point where the affinity with the general public isn't really there. So when you see someone and there's I mean, he scores a hat trick, you win the game, and then the realization is that you still haven't qualified, and then you see the outpouring and the emotion that
problem with Filipinos, majority of those watching doesn't know about football.
Yeah, that's true.
They need to be exposed of the football. And for me, if I graduated marketing, I would make use of the Phil foreigners to market football.
Yeah.
Because one, they have the looks.
Who?
The Phil foreigners, they have blue eyes. They have white complexion. They're good. Imagine Phil and James.
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? You say that. And we've done that. We have done it, right? Phil and James did it, and other people have done it. But I still think there comes a point where the product still has to be real.
Yeah,
right. The product on the pitch still needs to be.
But it's the one way to expose the kids.
Initially, yeah, but then I think you've also got the likes of why Chiefy was so successful, not just because he was good on the pitch, but he was also relatable off of it.
Problem with Chiefy is too many obligations.
That's
too
also
many.
True. Yeah.
Then sponsors were conflicting with each other.
That's true.
He always yes. You always forget that this product will conflict the other product.
Yeah. I get that. But I just think we have to be careful with that. We have to be careful with that.
Yeah, I just want people to know that when why I like how Chiefy is when he started with the national team with our Japanese coach, he was sent home.
Is that right?
He was sent home. Ari Borromeo was sent home.
Because?
Ali went to training, the tryouts late. Chiefy went to training, the coach said he was too small. He's young. Very young. Then they came back the year after. And they became one of the best players in the Philippines. That's the good thing with the two of them. Ali, you see already the potential at an early age. He can play all the positions, including goalkeeper.
Yeah, he was a very good goalkeeper, wasn't he? Yeah.
So if Ali's a local product, homegrown. So if we need to in this kind of population, we definitely will see someone there at that kind of qualities like Ali.
I want to move back a little bit. I mean, you sort of touched on it there a little bit about talking about other players' experiences growing up. What was your experience growing up? Because I know you come from a very sporting background.
My family is sports family. My dad used to play football and basketball for Ateneo. I'm from Salle, from Ateneo. Like Sina Chiefy, they were awarded Mr. Football, Mr. Basketball. But he's more known for basketball.
Yeah, that's right.
Because he's 4-time Olympian in basketball.
Yeah.
I was the third boy in the family of 8.
Okay.
Fourth boy in the family of 8.
Yeah.
At younger ages, I was pushed to play basketball.
Yeah.
But still, I couldn't let go of football.
Yeah. Did your other siblings play football also?
Yeah. My older brother, Teo, played for the national team futsal.
Oh, did he really?
Futsal,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, futsal. With Sina Ali and Sina Ariel.
Okay.
Yeah. I was really pushed all the best center I had to join. I have to be a model in a clinic of basketball.
Yeah.
Actually, if I pushed on basketball and tried to learn that sport, I would excel, but I stopped.
Yeah.
actually I was part of the U16 before for China for basketball,
Right.
but it was disbanded because of that massacre.
Oh,
The
really? Yeah.
Tiananmen massacre that time.
Okay. Wow.
So after that, my father passed away second year. So I moved back to football,
Right.
and I definitely basketball was just a pastime.
Right.
When I have time, I play basketball.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah.
And I remember I couldn't shift to basketball in high school because Coach Hansuda didn't want me to play two sports.
So Coach Hans, who you now work with,
Yeah.
is
I've been with him since grade 6. I played for him from grade 6.
must have been a nightmare.
Grade 1, he was my PE teacher.
I can't-
Tormented me as
So grade 1, you're what, 6 years old?
can't remember, 1984.
Right, 6, 7
So I
years
was
6,
3, 4, 7, 6 to 7.
Yeah, 6, 7.
Yeah, he's my PE
So
teacher.
you've had him for that long,
Yeah.
and now you're working with him still.
Then he wasn't my coach in grade school until grade 7. But I was playing in the high school division grade 6.
Right. Okay.
Because two of us were pulled to the higher division already.
Right. Okay.
He was the one who produced me to be a national team player.
Yeah. What was it about? 'Cause, listen, I've worked with Coach Hans in different capacities before. So what is it about him that you think brought the best?
Probably
out of you?
the hard work. He always pushed you to the limit.
Yeah.
And he knows your capacity. Because right me, I believe in adrenaline. I played before with a fractured ankle. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Finals of UAP against Ateneo.
Mm-hmm.
I played for 30 minutes. I didn't know my ankle was fractured.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe in adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
Then I believe in second wind. If you get that second wind, you don't get tired.
Yeah.
So those were the things that really I learned from Coach Hans when he pushed me to my limit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was exposed me to a higher level of game. Because like grade 6, I played for high school division.
Right.
Third year high school, I played for the Team B college already.
Right.
So my direction...
They're always pushing you, always
Yeah.
trying to extend your.
Then my first year in DLSU, I was part of the national team already.
Okay.
So I was, I think, 2 of the college players.
Yeah.
Me and Marjo Aliado.
Yeah.
Then a lot were armed forces already.
Yeah.
Then all I can remember with him is we had the game in Tiger Cup. That time Suzuki Cup was named before was Tiger Cup.
Yeah.
The 1996 Tiger Cup. Last Singapore needed 7-0 to qualify. Fandi Ahmad was one of the best strikers of Singapore. Last 20 minutes, it was 3-0. He asked me to stick with him for 20 minutes. College player, no exposure to the international match.
So just to give everyone a perspective on that, because some of the people who are listening to this show will probably not realise just how good a striker. He was probably the best striker in Southeast Asia. Maybe the best there's ever been.
So, gave me 20 minutes to deny him for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I did good thing with that one. End result was I was called to if I wanted to study in Singapore right after.
Oh, really? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I declined because I was still young and I still family. Didn't want to leave my family.
Yeah, okay.
Not like now. I always tell my nephew, go.
Yeah.
Just go. Come back if you think na if not working for you.
Yeah.
Because you're getting older.
Yeah.
You're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And you have nothing to prove here anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you at that stage, the national team, like you said, was pretty much the whipping boys of Southeast Asia. So you came through that period, and you retired. You initially retired in 2002.
Yeah.
Right. Why did you retire at that time?
I retired 2002 because I just wanted to rest. Because all my life was just football.
Yeah.
I wanted to start working already. I graduated in 2000. I took 2000 2 years to play first. Then I wanted to work. Remember, football is not a way of life because we didn't have a professional league.
You weren't getting paid then, obviously.
The professional, yeah, there came a professional league, but we got paid only a few months then after.
Yeah.
Just like how it happened to Global.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, do I regret playing for that? No. It's one of our contribution on football.
Yeah.
We wanted it to succeed, but definitely it did not.
Yeah.
I retired 2002 from national team.
Mm-hmm.
Then I played international beach football 2004. I got injured ACL.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
2004.
So that, because and then obviously 2006.
2006.
You were recalled back to the national team.
Aris called me.
Aris Kaslib, yeah.
Coach Aris
Yeah.
called me if I wanted to help out.
Yeah. And in what way? Because we were talking a little bit about this before. Why did Coach Aris think that you could?
At that time, Chiefy couldn't handle the field foreigners and locals. Someone needs to mediate.
Meaning me.
How I see it, it's more on I need to be an interpreter. Nah,
Not really.
No.
I think
Just
actually,
kidding.
when you look at it,
I just needed to bring them together.
Yeah,
because there was a faction.
and we were quite young
Mm.
still. I mean, that would have been, so I was 23.
Yeah, I was turning 30.
Oh, right, so I was 23. Ali would have been the same age.
Yeah.
Chiefy the same age. So you had probably
Yeah.
10 or so players in and around that same. Anton, right, maybe a year older
Yeah.
than me, 2 years older than me.
Aris
So
wanted old players to help out.
to basically
Two of us were there. Me
Yeah.
and Ali.
Ali go.
Yeah.
And essentially that group, although it was a young, up and coming team, we were by no means the finished article. We had a lot of players still kind of finding their feet, still developing, still maturing. I mean, we were probably, like you said, there's a lot of, I would consider myself a leader.
Yeah.
Ali would, and then obviously Chiefy, Ian Araneta. There was a lot of players, who also were big characters.
Yeah.
But it definitely needed managing.
So
that's why
that's why
in.
we came in. I remember that time. It was in Ultra when Aris talked to me there. I was 40 to 50 pounds overweight from my playing weight.
Right.
So first day of running, I dread Ultra already.
Yeah.
I believe I puked in every tree there, every fence in Ultra for 1 week.
Yeah.
Then I talked to Aris. I told him I'll go join the team if in 3 weeks I can join the runs. I can match the runs already. Then after 3 weeks I lost almost 20 pounds. I decided to just go for it.
Yeah.
I was working 8 to 5 work corporate. So the training was in Ultra. I remember Darren telling people in the game when he was commentating that I was, after training, I don't take a bath, I go straight to work. I have no choice.
Yeah.
What I do is I put alcohol in the car.
Just rub it on.
Then go to work.
Yeah.
Then come back in the afternoon for training, then go back to work.
And how long did you do that for?
I did that for 2 months.
Yeah.
Then our training camp was moved to Bacolod.
Yep.
I joined that team. I took a leave of absence from work.
Yeah.
But still, I was working offsite.
Offsite, yeah.
Then, the 2006, 2007.
Yeah, and then we went to, so you played in the tournament in Bacolod, right?
Yeah.
The qualifiers.
Yeah. Then 2007.
So that would have been the AFF Championships. So it
Qualifying.
Qualifiers, but it was in between. So this is like, it used to be called Tiger Cup, and then this was before it became Suzuki Cup. So it was just AFF Championship, I think it was called at the time, right? So you came in for the qualifiers. Ali Go was there. You were there. Antok Gonzalez was there. He's probably one of the other sort of more older, more senior players.
Still young. Anto's still young.
Yeah, but even then he was what? So he's a few years older than me. So even though he was probably
he's one of those that pushed me in running.
Mate,
by
pushing you mean beating?
No, when we do the interval runs, I always lag behind.
Yeah.
2 of them comes back to push me. Anto and Darren, they alternate each other to push me to run.
Funny story with Darren, right? We did so my very first national team camp was under Aris, and he used to love the Cooper test. So we'd do the Cooper test, right? And I was in pretty good shape, to be honest with you. So the first Cooper test we did, I came second Darren won. He lapped me. Right? And I came second.
Yeah.
I think Vaughan Melendres. Remember Vaughan?
Vaughan, yeah.
Vaughan, Vaughan, and then Kale Alvarez. So we were the top four. And then people can't believe how fit Darren used to be. He was a machine.
Yeah, yeah.
Anto also was always known for his fitness levels.
Good thing. The nice thing with how Anto plays, he's small but terrible, man. He knows how to use his body even if he's small.
Very smart player.
Very
smart player. So then, we went to Thailand, and obviously first game, Ali sustains his injured.
So
nightmare.
That's one of the responsibilities. Aris told us, it's either your guys are utility players because we're retiring.
Yeah.
If someone gets injured, someone fails to play what they're supposed to do, you replace them.
I saw your role also as a figure off the field. Also, like the general, the extension of the coach on the training field. If we had a problem, we could go to you. You could relay that information to Aris. You were very good with that. I mean, I don't want to say mediator, because but you.
The only thing I had the problem with Aris was that game when actually Liman always talks to me, always tells me, he always threatens with this position because he's scared that if I get to play, he won't be able to play.
Yeah.
So I go, don't be scared, just play. And then there's this game that Liman was suspended in Bacolod. Actually, I confronted Coach Aris that time because during the team session, he told me I will be the one starting. So, remember a player, when you prepare for a game, mental preparation. It's not only that I'm going to play. Mental. It's different when you're off the bench and you're starting. Yeah. So, during that session, he told me I was going to start instead of Liman because he's suspended. Then during the game, he started Browner.
Henry Browner, yeah.
Yeah. So after the game, I told him, Coach, you have to tell me ahead of time because it's different how I prepare mentally before the game, starting and from the bench.
Yeah.
Because remember, you told us you molded our mind already from off the bench.
Yeah.
Because all my life in national team, I never started off the bench.
No.
It's only this time because I knew my role already in the team.
Yeah.
I actually didn't expect that I'll be able to play.
Right.
I just want to be there. I just wanted the feeling of the game.
Yeah.
Even now when I watch the game, I love the feeling in front of the now singing the national anthem.
Yeah. It's a great feeling.
Great feeling, man.
It's a great feeling.
That's a great feeling.
Yeah. What can you?
How about you? Know how the national anthem already?
Oh my gosh! Don't ask me that. Don't ask me that. One of the enduring memories that I have with a national team was actually your final game, which was 0-0 against Myanmar. Myanmar had to win to qualify for the semi-finals, and we had lost to Thailand. We had lost to Malaysia, so we really had nothing to play for. Aris makes a few changes, and then I see on the team sheet that you're playing centre-back. And I didn't know you as a centre-back. I always knew you as a central midfield player. But we sort of mixed things up a little bit. And I think he paired you with Anton, is that right? Is it
No, with Sablon.
Japit.
Yeah.
Japit Sablon. So we had a bit of a sort of a mix and match group. But I remember, although it's a game that doesn't really get much attention because obviously it was just a 0-0 game and then we didn't end up qualifying.
Actually, we were supposed to win if only Arel scored that goal or passed that ball.
You should have passed it to me.
Yeah.
We no longer speak because of it. But okay, whatever. And then, of course, there was another one. I don't know if you remember this one, where my brother had gone on this crazy run and then the ball got played into the middle and it fell to him and all he would have done, he would have just tapped it in and then Power,
yeah.
Slides in and then he blazes it over from about 2 yards out and I was literally right there going, what are you doing? And Power obviously coaches with me now, so we laugh about it sometimes. But what do you remember from that game? Because obviously that was your last match. Obviously you remember me talking to you afterwards about being captain.
Very emotional one. One. So I really wanted to win that game.
You knew it was going to be your last game, right?
Yeah.
You knew.
I knew it's going to be my last game.
Yeah.
There were players that were put in like that time. Pasinabo.
Arnie.
Yeah, we played 5 minutes, then replaced right away because he braked under pressure.
Yeah.
But he's one of the best players we have in the Philippines.
Yeah.
He's a good player. Those were the kind of players that we need to help out.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
very emotional that game because definitely after that, I have to move to the next phase of my. It's either I coach or work.
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It's either I coach or work or do it at the same time.
Yeah.
But I decided to do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Work and coach.
Yeah.
Uh,
You had a hell of a game. I remember that.
Yeah.
You played really well. Because I was surprised. Because
Yeah.
you were more known for quite silky on the ball. You were a good distributor, but you showed your kind of gritty side, your determined side.
Because probably it's because that game I really wanted
Yeah.
to end my career with a win for once.
Yeah, I know.
And not be losing for amount of score.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had your fair share of those, right? Of the heavy defeats and difficult
even
scenarios.
the Olympic qualifying, when I see the videos,
Yeah.
man, it's just like when we I remember that time when we were in the airport in Japan for the Olympic qualifying U23. We landed in Japan. Freddie was interviewed. The Japanese reporter asked him, because last time Philippines and Japan played, Philippines 1-1-0. Then the Japanese reporter asked him, so what do you think the score will be? Freddie said, we will beat Japan. Okay, then the game time started when we played them for the first leg. We lost 13-0.
Yeah.
13-0. So I was feeling fuck, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Going to the second leg, we cannot be losing another 13-0 against them.
Yeah.
I remember we have two Philippine field foreigners at that time, Ligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lee.
Yeah.
Lee. It's sad. It's just sad being part of the Whipping Boys of Asia, and you're known for that.
And you didn't want to have that experience again.
I don't want the younger generation experience it.
Yeah.
I think it's the high time that we have to do something. We cannot have another 9 years or another 4 years our youth teams experiencing this kind of defeat.
Yeah. So I think that's an interesting thing that you mentioned there, because like I came in, I must have been 19, 20 at the time, and I'd seen what had happened in previous Tiger Cups, but I definitely didn't have that mindset of right, well, we're going to get killed. I mean, we lost my first Tiger Cup. We lost to Myanmar 1-0, last minute goal, injury time goal, narrow loss to Thailand. We got beat by Malaysia pretty heavy, and then we beat East Timor, which was at the time was acceptable.
Yeah.
And then sort of thereafter, I don't really recall us having many heavy defeats.
Yeah.
Maybe the odd 3 or 4-0 here and there, but generally speaking, no 13-0s or anything like that. So it's for me, it's so interesting when you talk about it and you think, oh, maybe that was like 50, 60 years ago. That was in recent memory, right? I mean, that's for people who have been watching for the past 20. That's happened within this time frame. So to see how far we've come in that time frame on the men's level,
they really closed the gap. The problem is we're just too in a hurry. We're looking at the World Cup already. We're looking at the Asian Cup already. We haven't been tagged as King of Southeast Asia yet.
Yeah.
So why don't we target first Southeast Asia before we... Because basically the ranking, FIFA ranking, is not a basis of anything.
The other thing with that, Alvin, I think as well, is if the model is, which it is at the moment, of we're going to get field foreigners in who've been brought up abroad, raised abroad, they're going to do great things because they've already been exposed to a high level of football. That's going to keep going now.
It's going to keep going. It's a shortcut method.
But what I'm saying is with that is you don't worry about that.
At least we're not going to the extent that we're naturalizing players.
Which
is
you've seen that with other
in Singapore is doing that.
But if that's the case, Alvin, right, then this is really what I want to come on to and segue into some of the stuff that you've been doing in youth football. Is if that's going to be, that's done by itself, right? That's just going to be a wheel that keeps spinning. We don't need to worry about that. Those players will come to us.
Yes,
let's
correct.
worry about the other stuff.
Correct. They neglected the youth program.
Because imagine the foundations, because at the moment there is no foundation, right? Everything is just built at the top.
What the result of the top
with top down,
yeah.
with everything.
Yeah.
But if we had a foundation of, let's develop these guys from the grassroots level, all right, it might take 5-10 years. It might take 20 years, who knows? But once that happens, then of course you're pulling from two different groups then.
That's the reason why. How do you gauge your kids if their program is effective or not?
And how would you gauge it?
Competition. Not a 7-side competition.
No,
you're not getting anything from
no.
a national tournament.
Yeah.
Bring back the go for goal before.
A lot of people have said that. Tell people about that, because I obviously wasn't part of that. But a lot of people...
Go for goal was spearheaded by definitely Coca-Cola. Yeah, with Rene Haddad before, with Coach Chris. It's a national tournament wherein the best of every school that qualified plays in one venue. There's Luzon representative, there's Visayas, Mindanao. Then from those, actually, the national team youth before was composed of those players there.
So they all converge on one location. All the best players from all the best schools come in, and then basically the coaches would then go, right, okay, that one,
it's like a rookie camp. Yeah. The coaches go there, then you see all the rookies playing. Then I want this guy, I want this guy, I want this guy.
Yeah.
Right now it's different. They just bring their teams. They say that they're the best because they think they're the best.
Yeah.
It's not, hey, we do a selection, represent our province with the best team that we have. We don't have that. Palarong pambasa is probably can be.
It's the closest thing, really.
Yeah, but still,
even that level, I'm looking at some of the kids who were invited on from just my network of people I know, and I was like, they wouldn't even start for my team. You know what I mean? Like, you want to get to the point where you really are pulling the best of the best, put them all in one location, and then let's really see where the talent is.
Because usually right now the age group of U14, you can see them that a lot of schools are recruiting them already here in Metro Manila.
Yeah.
So definitely you can bring them together.
Yeah.
The little Azkals, the born 0203s that was produced before, that's supposed to be a product of this year. Some are in Lasal Green Hills, some are in San Beda, one is in Zobel. So a lot are already in Metro Manila, but only 2 played for the national team out of the 22.
Yeah.
Sad reality, but we need a program, long-term program that there's continuity. You cannot stop after 2 years because no one's gonna handle it.
The Coca-Cola one though, how long did that run for?
I'm not pretty sure, but it was always calendared every year before for U16.
Yeah,
it's always calendared.
Yeah.
Then there was Adidas U19. Then nothing.
Yeah. Because I mean, looking at it, it all seems to be private entity though. Right?
Private with sponsor.
Sponsored, like corporate or whatever.
But still, it's initiative by the federation.
Yeah, because I think that's really where a lot of this lies, right? You know, there needs to be the funding. If it's not coming from the federation, then it needs to be generated by the federation or by a governing body.
That's why that's the only tournament that you can gauge if your program is at par with the other regions. Yeah. So you can see if I'm lacking behind or ahead of them.
Yeah.
So the thing is, in this past few years, we don't have anything to gauge with except the 7-a-side tournaments.
Yeah. Which is not really a fair reflection of where these players are.
Yeah.
I don't think. And obviously you're now involved with the LaSalle program. Talk to us a little bit more about that, because I think that's also relative in terms of, because you're seeing the kids, aren't you, at that when they're coming of age.
Yeah.
Really where the level is at the sort of collegiate level.
With the LaSalle program, definitely we want to produce players for our LaSalle University.
Yeah.
We have a lot of LaSalle schools in Luzon.
Yeah.
LaSalle Guineas, LaSalle Sobel, Vermosa campus, Laguna campus. So we try as much to bring a program that we call One LaSalle together, so that when they play, they're comfortable with each other. When we join national tournaments, we try to combine these kids to play. Right now, it's still in an infancy stage because we just started it for the past 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
So we can see already the U14s, the players that we want to develop.
Yeah.
So that we don't have to look for other players outside.
So you're just basically trying to keep it from
It's like
within the program.
Within the LaSalle community. Like for Laguna, we want to look at players in the Laguna area already, so we don't have to look for players from the province.
I think the benefit also of generating your own players is they have an affinity to the school.
Definitely is in core values of the school.
You know what I mean?
Still to them. Because right now we're just not just coaches. We're just also like an extension of the school.
Family, as well.
Yeah.
I think that you look at that type of system, and it goes back to what we were saying before. You can then produce the type of players that you want to produce, and not just players, people.
Majority of our coaches also are LaSalle alumni.
Yeah. So they also went. They
came from LaSalle.
I mean, if you look at like clubs that are doing this at the highest level, like Ajax, for example, like Ajax's academy is littered with players who used to play for the club, who came through the system. So all of these things are then inherently developed.
Their philosophy is very much instilled in.
It's the same. It's the same. So if you're from LaSalle and you play for LaSalle, and you're coaching kids from LaSalle, it's all there. So then they have those same core values. They behave a certain way. That you expect them to be studious in the classroom, for example. And I think all of those things, if you can harness that and then expand it on a national level, then you're going to have a group of players for the national team with the same core values.
The problem right now is with in the Philippine setting, club and school is still there's still a middle part of club and school together.
In what sense? You mean that there's a little bit of conflict between them, or is it? You think it's hard to bridge the gap?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard to bridge the gap for now.
Yeah. I find there's a lot of overlap,
and a lot of parents are trying to push their kids to play. It's okay to have them play.
Yeah.
But not to the extent that they're playing every day.
Yeah.
There are times kids are improving. They call it improving fast. They're gonna plateau because parents are pushing them.
Yeah.
I just want the parents, to just let the kids enjoy the sport and let them find out on their own.
Yeah.
Because like now, I see a kid playing in this club, then I see this kid playing in another club. Too many clubs, multi-clubs. What for? Different philosophy, different. The kid will be confused already.
Did you see that with you growing up?
Before we don't have clubs. It's just school.
Mostly with school.
School.
Because I see that a lot. And I think it's one of the biggest problems, Alvin, that I've encountered in the youth football arena. Which is, you've got a lot of these kids, and you know what? It's not the kids' fault. It's the parents' fault. The parents' fault.
Parents.
And a lot of it is driven by ego. A lot of it is driven by...
Or probably a frustrated player before.
Which is exactly what it is. Which comes back to, it's just narcissistic tendencies of parents, right? That's really what it... And
it's actually normal.
It's not normal, though.
It's normal here in the Philippines.
Yeah, that's bad then.
Yeah, it's normal.
You'd know better than me, but I see it a lot, so maybe it is normal from what you've experienced.
But we just have to control it. We just, as coaches, needs to control our parents.
But I think that's a very difficult thing to do.
And remember, I think your club also has code of ethics for their parents.
No, we do. I don't think we're that bad. I don't think we're.
And they have I think they even have a tournament for the parents, which is good. At least they know how it feels to play.
Yeah, and then it gives the kids the chance to abuse the parents as well,
correct.
Which is always nice. But no, I mean, we've been on multiple times. We've gone off topic, and you said before you came on that you're going to go off here and off there.
Yeah.
But I think with that, and I think it's interesting that you're doing it with your school. I'd like to see something like that rolled out on a kind of a national scale, because I think that's really important. That you have a set of values that you adhere to, and then once it's ingrained in that, like you said, it becomes a conveyor belt of just kids coming through the system. It doesn't matter whether you're in Laguna or whether you're in Green Hills or whether you're in whatever, any part. It's just those kids are coming through, same values, same principles, same ideas, and then that philosophy is easy to manifest when you see it on the pitch. You know,
I just want kids to just play smart. That's it. It's hard to teach football IQ. You can give them situations. They need to learn how to decide on their own. So it's really hard for me, it's hard to teach. Sometimes the football IQ is it's natural for the kids.
Yeah.
There are kids that are highly technical, but their football IQ are low. Their football IQ, some kids are football IQ high, but their technical aspect is very low.
Yeah.
So basically, it's us coaches who will determine how do we make them all at this level, kind of level. So that's why I told you I admire how Kaya did it with their football manual, which should be that way.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
should be that way.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, mate. I want to talk a little bit about, I know you didn't really want to talk too much about it, so I won't talk about elections as such, because obviously the results are in now, right? The results are in. So what we are.
I still believe in change.
And this is what I want to talk about. Like, so my thing with you is, now that the administration is going to continue and they're going to go in. I mean, you were very vocal about how you felt about it and that you wanted to change, but hopefully we can still experience some change under the current regime.
My voice, I said my voice about it already, and hopefully they will listen, and hopefully things will change.
What do you want? What would you like to see change?
More national tournament, more engagement with the youth.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with compliance, but more on development. Because this past 9 years that we were under them, it was more of a compliance.
Yeah.
Never neglect futsal because it's part of the football program. Never neglect the referees.
Why is there no? Sorry, we'll come off that. Why is there not more futsal? Because there should be. No, it's the easiest way to do it.
It's part of their program, futsal. We sent a team last time composed of last minute preparation.
Yeah.
Just for
which is a running theme in this interview, right? Last minute prep. But why like one of the things, there's a dearth of facilities, right? And it's hard to get, especially when it's a densely populated community like Manila, right? But there's loads of basketball courts. There's loads, right? There's loads. You know, why are we not investing more time and money in futsal?
I don't see the coaches right now are capable of handling futsal. Not all.
Right.
They see futsal as football also. Remember, but coaching futsal is different from coaching football.
But then I think it can still filter into football later on. I mean, you look at the Brazilians. They play futsal until
they started playing futsal.
That's how they learn.
Football,
much before they play. Like for me, futsal is ultimate
for the technical ability of the kids.
So if you've got all of these things like which you talked about before, that the Filipinos have technical deficiencies, let's work on it within futsal. Surely.
The thing is, no one from the federation sees the importance.
Okay, so now we're getting to the real issues here, right?
Because they just see everything on compliance that we have to join, or unless we'll be fined. That's it.
Yeah. But if
so I don't know. I don't know if it happened that we didn't join, then we agreed. Then what's the corresponding sanctions? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't care. A good thing with the federation. The good thing with the federation is we've been joining youth tournaments.
Yeah.
Before, during my time, they choose which tournament to join.
Right.
At least now, most of the tournaments we join.
Yeah.
But it's still out of compliance, and we don't see any report afterwards of what happened. How did you do it? What happened? What was wrong?
Yeah. How can we improve?
How can we improve?
Yeah.
Nothing. So no one wants to discuss. Even I have this one coach before I got to talk to. He was questioned that all of his players came from his school that he was coaching,
which is a common problem. I think
the reason was schools cannot just release players if there's no coordination
Yeah.
done properly.
Yeah. Letters from the federation, or
The
that kind of
protocol,
stuff.
proper protocol,
Yeah.
and out of respect to the coaches handling them.
Yeah.
It's always last minute, or we're the ones who asking for the letter out of respect for us to release.
Yeah.
There are times the coach that I talked to didn't want to get interviewed about it, but he was bashed crazy in Facebook about that tournament that he brought his players there. It's sad, but it's the truth. We're just complying to send a team.
So you just get whoever's available at the time. Yeah. And then obviously some schools are reluctant to release those players because either the proper protocol hasn't been
and
issued.
It's a tournament proper. So it's during our season. There are times that they need to do it properly so that the games will be rescheduled.
Because I'm guessing the reluctance from some of these coaches to release their players is they've got ongoing competitions themselves. And if they're scholaring these kids and then they're not made available, then their job's on the line also,
and
right?
Usually tournaments, different AFF and AFC tournaments are always calendared. Why don't we just...
so you know ahead of time. They didn't say, let's just do a tournament next week. Can you send a team?
That's the thing.
You know when it's coming, right?
Yeah.
You know when it's coming.
So they know it ahead of time. Why wait for the last few weeks to fix everything?
Yeah. So the first thing for you that you would want.
Actually, if you ask me, a lot will help me. If you ask me regarding the federation, complete cleansing. England did it when they didn't qualify in the World Cup. What did they do? Complete
out
the program, complete trash reprogram. They fixed the reorganization. USA didn't qualify. What did they do? Same way.
Yeah, leave USA. They're still useless.
Diba?
Germany.
Yeah.
Germany did the same.
Germany
did the same. And if you actually go back to Schrocky's interview that we did on here, he was one of the beneficiaries of that group. So I remember when England beat them in the Euros, I think it would have been 2000 or something like that. That Germany team was awful. But they went back, started again.
Good thing with SEA Games now, we were allowed to put overage players. What if Schrock wasn't there? What if Amani wasn't there? Right. What would happen to us?
Yeah.
Good thing they were there.
Yeah.
We had to rely on these players.
Yeah.
And I want to build up quality players similar to Schrock, how he passed left and right. How many assists from his pass that we converted? A lot.
Yeah.
So how come we cannot produce a similar quality player like him?
Yeah.
Here. I can't wait to see a player like you in the kids, like a player like Ali, a player like Chiefy, a player like Shrok, homegrown, similar qualities to them.
Yeah. I mean, that for me is working in youth football here in the Philippines is the thing that I would love to see the most. I would love to see it where you go to a training camp and you go to you go to one of these selection processes and you can mix the guys who are raised abroad, you can mix the guys that are homegrown, and you won't be able to tell the difference. Because if you go to a training session now,
it's a hard time for the coach to select players.
Right,
all the same quality of players.
Right.
Yeah.
And then how much better would that be? How much better would that be? You know, it's one of the things that I really struggle with, and I because on the one hand I was lucky, I was fortunate because it gave me an opportunity to come here and play straight away.
Yeah.
Right. So I have to be thankful for that the level wasn't as high as it should have been. But now I'm in.
He just retired early.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
He could have done more.
Hey, if they need,
I mean,
they call me
you've
up,
done a lot. You've done a lot for Philippine football.
Yeah, I did my bit.
Yeah,
I did my bit.
You did your share.
So
he just ended it on the right note. You don't want to take more of a gamble after that.
I see a lot of people try and do it when they're well into their 30s.
Because we tried. Freddie and I tried. You almost won against Vietnam before. Freddie just scored 2 goals in the first half.
Yeah, that was what 2002.
2002.
Yeah.
It's so sad that he wasn't able to convert those 2 goals. That could have changed everything. And Freddie and I tried. We tried.
Yeah.
We tried to uplift football. But good thing that with that tournament, Freddie was able to play in the Vietnam League.
Yeah, so he got his move. So although maybe it wasn't great for the nation or the
but
team
still,
as a whole,
someone is
he benefited.
Yeah.
And it's great. And there's someone who came through the system here. I know he went to the States for a while, but somebody came through the system. And for me, it's one of those, if you can get more players coming in and exposed to level, good coaching, high level competition on a consistent basis, I guarantee you. And I said this on another podcast. The Alphonse Areolas of this world, full-blooded Filipinos playing at Real Madrid now, right? So it's possible. It's nothing to do with genetics.
You can see the quality of the game. Like Amani is not gonna be Amani if he didn't play in
for sure
in Thai League, Malaysian League. Yeah,
for sure. And if he didn't have the opportunity to play with the national team for so long, he's been in the system with us since he was 19, 20. If he had carried on just playing in college and just playing, at that level, he wouldn't have had the chance. But the fact that he's been with the national team for, he must have been probably 8 years now, if not more. So he's been with us, rubbing shoulders
really
every
improved
year.
a lot, and I can still feel how in the emotions that he was really fighting until the end.
Yeah. And I think, imagine having 11 Amani Aguinaldos playing with that kind of passion and playing with that kind of spirit, right? And if you could harness that, and if they had the technical ability of the foreign players, then you're onto a winner. Like one of the things that I think, and going back to what you originally said about, the sort of the DNA or the makeup of the Filipino players, especially homegrown ones, is something innate in Filipinos is they love to fight. They will fight. They will fight. They will fight.
The term puso, they always
right.
Puso,
there we go.
Puso,
right. It's its own term, and that's within
the problem. The problem right now is yes, they love to fight, but there are times they will fight if it's almost close to, like for example, they will only fight when they're down 1-0.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not fight from the start?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm also looking at it from a perspective of. It means you're waffling on too much. I'm also looking at it from a perspective of, let's say, for example, Amani, and he demonstrated how emotional he was. And I think if the kids are given, I say kids, if homegrown Filipinos feel as though there is an opportunity for them to step up into the national team, really step up. Because obviously, for a lot of them, they've only really seen, look at the SEA Games. Most of them are guys who are rated as well. So imagine if you're 19 and you're pushing. I think I'm close. And then you're JB Belong and then you're out. That must be really disheartening. So I get why you might not have that fight, or you might not have that kind of passion. It's not right. You should always still want to fight.
Probably at the level of U22 already, you will see the players from the youth who played really well outside. You can see from the time that they played U16, from the time they played U19, the time they played, you'll see already who can play outside that don't break under pressure. Borlongan played well in the last SEA Games. La Paz played well.
La Paz, both of them, because they were both with Cairo at the time.
International match. You can highlight already those that played really well outside. So we need more of an observation on who plays well, because in my video I told them there that there are players that are good at Philippine level but lack behind in international level. And there are players that are good parents level. Parents will always say we have the best kids, best players. That's normal. But that they usually at Philippine level they say they're good in the Philippine level only. So we need to highlight all the players that we have seen that played really well. One player that I saw that played really well, who's injured right now, is Takardon Fidel. He really played well in the U19 international.
And where's he at?
Injured. He got injured.
But he's at UP. He's at UP. Yeah. Okay.
Injured. So there you can see already from at that age who are the players that can play. And from that we need to develop them, because they'll be the next in line for the national team.
For sure.
For the Azkals.
And it'd be nice, wouldn't it, just to see the progression. Like what I'd really like to see is have the guys who come in from U14, the best of the U14, the guys who play really well.
The core players.
You can go into the 16s, the core players. It's always going to be a funnel, right? Not everyone's going to make it. Not everyone's going to make it.
Yeah, there's always an age group that they just stop.
Yeah.
Because Myanmar, 10 players coming from U19, core players. Vietnam, 5 core players.
Right.
Us is just one. I basically considered one.
Yeah.
Limbo. Because he was able to play for 20 minutes. The others...
It's not even core, is it, really? I mean, I'm talking about people that you can really...
If it's core,
the team. The team is made around you. And I think with that, if you can get 4 or 5 guys coming through at the same time... Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Correct.
Because that's what we had in my group.
Yeah.
Right. And you were the elder statesman who kept an eye on all of us.
Yeah, you can really push that.
But we were all born within 1 year of each other. All 82s, 83s, pretty much. We all came through together. So I think it'd be nice, even better, if it was all a group of players born and raised here, came through the system here, were ingrained in it, had been abroad, gone and done the under 14, 16s, under 19 competitions, then went and played in the SEA Games, and then by the time they get to that age where they're coming into the men's team, they've already had that period, 8 years of playing international competition. Then they're ready. Then they're ready.
Correct.
It might not be many, but it might be 5, 6 kids. But that's really what we've got to be aiming for.
This is the reason why I came into your podcast, because to get insights from you and people who hear that it's not only myself who's been talking about this. It's you also. Yeah.
And I think the other thing with that, and I'm talking, that's just on the player side, but I really hope, and you touched on the other, I really hope that people of our generation get more involved in that process. And then obviously if they want to get involved, be allowed.
And I want people to see the reality of where we at in football. Like people talk about football, they don't know anything about football. They say hurtful words about football, but they do not understand how is it to play football. So, like you observe, you see things, what we need, what we lack behind. You see the development. You basically observe. Then you act on your observation.
What was the term that you used in your? You said doing something in your backyard, cleaning your backyard or something. You said something like that.
If no one's doing anything, you really you start from your own backyard.
I think that as a saying, I stole that, and I was like, it's the perfect analogy.
Like what you're doing for Kaya.
Exactly.
That's your backyard.
Exactly.
You're doing everything to fix the program, to produce players, to develop them. It's the same thing for us. We're doing it for Salle. Anto's doing it for Acquire. Nonoy Figueroa is doing it for USLS. We're doing it on our own. This coach I got to talk to told me, we don't have to talk to the federation. Why don't we just have a meeting on our own and do our own thing? National coach yan, That's a national coach. Diba? If they're not doing anything, let's just be the ones to just initiate and talk to each other and fix our program or inline our program with each other. And then we'll just have a tournament on our own. Then we'll gauge everything if our program is doing the right thing or not.
I'd be open to it, Alvin. You tell me. you book a room, you book a table, and I'll show up. And we'll see if that's what it has. If that's
right now, basically we have to move on. Same thing. Promises will be given. I hope this time around will be different. Hopefully, it will be different.
What?
I just hope I just hope that whatever hearsay that we hear, I hope they set it aside and demand for what is for them. Don't say na we're not the regional FA is not doing anything for football. Demand for what it's take for you. So do not be quiet for 4 years. Try to be the one to initiate. Do not wait for the federation to reach out. And hopefully whatever you demand, they will do it for the federation.
Yeah.
Because right now, it's hard. You believe in something, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's difficult, mate. I mean, like I'm looking at you, and I see someone who's extremely passionate about Philippine football at all levels. You know, I know you're involved in the women's game.
I've been there.
You the men's game. You're involved. Obviously, although you're in the collegiate game, you're seeing the kids on a regular basis, seeing the kids that are coming through. You're a former player, you know, and I know that you're frustrated with things, and I know that you've said your piece in different forums in different ways, and I think it's important that people understand where people like yourself, people like me are coming from. Is it's not, we don't want to try to elicit a negative response to Philippine football. All we're saying is we've got to try to strive to be better.
Yeah.
Right. Again, we spoke on Jing and I spoke last week. Like, you can't have an opening ceremony like we had for the SEA Games, which was truly world class, right? Amazing, and then accept all that BS garbage with the stadium not being ready and things like that. Like, we should always be striving to give everyone the best opportunity that they can have. And I think really that's where you're coming from with a lot of your points is we've got to give these kids the best possible chance to be the best footballers, the best people that they can be.
Correct.
So, you know, I hope that people who are listening or who are watching this podcast can feel your passion and feel your enthusiasm, because I know I felt it as a young national team player playing, and I wasn't under you, but you know, I was looking up to you as an older player and seeing what you brought to the table, how you managed the group, how you interacted with us, and how, you know, we would respond to your leadership. And I'm sure the kids are getting that benefit now with you in a coaching capacity. But you know, don't think of as Alvin as being this crazy crackpot with these rants, because you're really not. You just that's probably just years and years of frustration building up, and then you just had to.
That's why
let it out.
How I talked about it is I just put a disclaimer. If you don't want to listen, just don't
turn
watch
off now.
it.
Yeah, turn off now. Turn off now. But you know what you're saying, I think is great, because not enough people are talking about football, and not people talking about the real issues within football, and then also coming up with solutions to fix it. Like, and you like you said, you're trying to clean your backyard, I'm trying to clean mine. There are other people that are out there that are doing the good fight, which you've mentioned, and I just hope that the powers that be, who now have that responsibility, they have an obligation. They have an obligation to try and create this environment that will enable kids, my kids that are under your tutelage and mine, the best possible opportunities to develop.
Yeah, and
that's really
basically we have to put a stronghold on the women's tournament or women's program.
Yeah,
because we don't want the other nations to catch up.
No,
because right now I don't like to see that the other nations will catch up with our program.
Because I think we've got a good chance with the women's, especially, don't we? Especially I mean, obviously it's disappointing not to medal.
Yeah,
I think
but still, the program, the other nations are in their infancy stages.
Yeah.
So what if they catch up?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
So we just have to keep improving.
Yeah.
On that part, and hopefully the men's will follow.
Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. Actually,
I'll give you the last word, because I know you've spoken a lot, but I know you have a lot to say. So, is there anything I've missed out, or any questions?
For me, it's my last say is for those who really supported the football of the federation. Yeah, keep on supporting. Yes, I agree. Keep supporting. We have to move forward. But I just don't want that politics will be included in football. Hearsay or not, at the end of the day, I hope people will get to sleep that you did everything truthfully in highest level of integrity. If you're not doing it the right way, just kill yourself, man. You're killing another generation of young kids. That's it.
That's it. What a fine way to finish. Well, I really appreciate. I know you're a very busy guy, so I really appreciate you coming out and meeting us and speaking openly and candidly about.
Then you'll
all
give
of
me
these
a
things.
cup of Kaya after.
You want one? You can have this one. I'll take it. Off.
I tell Paul.
My hair's a mess, but you can have this one afterwards
Nah.
if you want. But no, thank you for coming on so much. I hope people enjoyed the episode. Loads of amazing insights from you, and I'm really pleased that you got to elaborate on your car interview that you gave on an impromptu highway a few weeks back. But again, thank you so much. I hope everyone enjoys it.
The whole football career, this is my first interview.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Have you enjoyed it?
It's just like talking, conversation,
That's
the
it.
coffee
That's it.
or beer.
That's it. I don't have any coffee. You didn't offer me any of yours, but no, honestly, Alvin, thank you so
Alright,
much for coming
thank
on.
you,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you,
and
everyone.
yeah, best of luck with everything this year.
All right.
Thank you for catching up on another episode of Across the Line. For more content like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, download episodes on Spotify and on Apple, and we look forward to seeing you again for another Football Friday.